Hey there, secretly not so dead Guardians. I'm the Comics Kid 2099 here to talk about an episode of Green Lantern the Animated Series titled Scarred. If you haven't seen it and you don't like spoilers, then go watch it while I sum up the plot before I get into the review itself. Hal, Kilowog, and Razor go through the secret office of the fallen science director who the Anti-Monitor had killed earlier in the season. They find a map that leads them to a location where, surprise, the science director is still alive. She reveals the Guardians used to have lots of godlike powers, but they were supposed to have turned them off centuries ago, but she did not. This allowed her to teleport when we thought she was killed. She and our heroes devise a plan to use the yellow crystals that we saw on a Spider Guild planet to knock Aya unconscious so that they can reprogram her back into being a good guy. But she betrays them. She actually wants to destroy Aya, but her attempt fails. The science director teleports away, and Hal uses the ship to knock Aya into a wormhole so that they can bide their time. So I neither like or dislike this episode. Much like the episode Larfleeze, we've got our heroes looking for some kind of ace in the hole so that they can easily defeat Aya, preferably without destroying her. And I get it, she was their friend and saved their lives many times, so they don't want to face the harsh reality that she's dangerous and has, slight spoilers for the series finale, seemingly killed billions of life forms by extinguishing star systems. Personally, I think Hal and Kilowog should have already arrived at the probability that she is beyond saving at this point, and should be looking for a more realistic solution to this scenario. I know, Hal became consumed by greed in the previous episode, and because they gave him a second chance to come back, he thinks that they should do the same thing for Aya. But as I mentioned in my review of the episode Larfleeze, Hal didn't extinguish entire star systems, and Aya has. But I can definitely see why Razor is refusing to see this for what it is. After all, this is 100% his fault, so I can see why he wouldn't want Aya to suffer because of something he is responsible for. But since all three of these guys refuse to put on their common sense hats, they go to the Guardian who tried to deactivate Aya already and ask her for help. Now, I had forgotten that the Science Guardian had secretly survived the Anti-Monitor's attack, so I promise I was not using my knowledge of my previous watch-through of the series. But as soon as we saw that this lady was back, I 100% knew that she would try to betray them. And why wouldn't she? She already tried to kill Aya before. Why in the round world would she go along with these guys and try to only knock her out when she's more evil now than she was the first time the science director tried to kill her? Also, I don't know if I like the small retcon of why the science director tried to kill Aya. I was under the assumption that she tried it before because Aya was gaining sentience and emotions, and because that was not part of her programming, they were afraid she would go the same way as the Anti-Monitor and the Manhunters. I think that motivation worked just fine. It made sense given the context that the Guardians are idiots for continuing to dabble in artificial intelligences after two very catastrophic failures. But now we're told the science director was acting more out of self-preservation. She had done a no-no and wanted to cover her tracks, and Aya posed a danger to her since Aya very nosily went through the science director's personal files. It's not even a bad motivation for the science director. Hey, can we get a name for her so I don't have to keep calling her science director? But it seems unnecessary when we've already had a perfectly good reason why she and everyone else would want Aya shut down. I guess this does shed some new light on why it's okay for Hal to sacrifice Lemos, but it's not okay to kill Aya. Apparently, the science director made Aya from living tissue from inside the big lantern battery. So according to these technists, she is a higher form of life. Granted, they only just found that out now, so when Hal and friends tried to sacrifice Lemos to save Aya, that behavior was still inexcusable. By the end of the episode, this feels like we're at the same place we were at the end of Larfleeze, or even Love is a Battlefield. With us being so close to the end, I want to see a little more forward momentum on what's going on with Aya, instead of more, well, let's try this other thing. Oh shucks, it didn't work. She's still evil. Status quo still remains the same. Maybe I'm not being entirely fair. If you compare this to Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 2, where we also had a good character turn evil for about half the season, we're actually moving along much faster than that was. But still, I don't like the sensation that we're treading water, just waiting for the series finale when things will finally start moving. Maybe if we could have spent more time with Aya in her new evil form, that would have been nice. We did do that in Love is a Battlefield, but I was thrown for a loop by her motivations being different than what I thought they were. Which, by the by, where are the Manhunters that she is allegedly protecting? They were nowhere to be seen in this episode. That I didn't enjoy the focus on Aya's new outlook on life as much as I would have liked to. But we've still got time to do that, so hopefully we can see more of that in the next couple of episodes. But in the meantime, I hope you guys liked this episode and this review, and if you did, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll be back next week with some other videos. Until next time, have a good one.